finding consciousness in this weird, perhaps messed up world. Do the different levels of consciousness perhaps have something to do with whether or not we have a deeper understanding and awareness of the push and pull that life inevitably offers, and how this push and pull is affecting our world in this very moment? We might continue to carry anger until such time as we do our own inner work and find peace within our very being. I only personally found peace once I started to accept that I carried this burden of fear, shame and guilt. We cannot heal something until we resolve to look at it. We can observe as fear, shame or guilt are mirrored back or projected onto us. When we start to step into consciousness, we observe what vibrations we have allowed or are allowing into our space, and if we are honest with ourselves, these vibrations don't simply come from outside of our own being. If we're not living through consciousness, we have this tendency to allow our past, our subconscious, and our surroundings to somewhat determine the actions that we take. Our subconscious can become our truth. We can end up disempowering ourselves by subconsciously allowing everything to play out as it will without questioning it. Is it right to allow our subconscious to write our story, or should we be writing our story through consciousness? Is our agency perhaps tied up within what we choose to give weight to? Another person may or may not change. We can either choose to give weight to that or not. When we choose what we give weight to, does this powerfully translate into self-love and acceptance of our true and authentic self? We can perhaps spend our energy focusing on what the other should be doing, but in doing so, could we perhaps end up channeling our energy into things that are counterintuitive to our own growth? Could this energy be more efficiently channeled if we are to go within, forgive, release and heal? If we so choose, we can reconcile with the fact that another person may never change. Things have this tendency to not hold so much weight when we refocus our energy elsewhere. I don't find this thought that we should try and fix another to be helpful in any way. Could we perhaps end up holding another back by trying to fix something about them that was never meant to be fixed in the first place? If you and I knew each other well, what would make you an expert on my life? What makes me an expert on yours? We are all on our own journey. We all continually shift towards our own personal purpose and destiny. Even if you and I had lived in the same household our entire life, there is nothing that could put me even close to being an expert on your life. You are still your own person and have your own agency, which is subject to change at any moment. Even though I might come to know you quite well, you could surprise me tomorrow by doing something I never expected you would do. You are the master of your own life and destiny, except in the areas that you are not. I find this expectation to fit within societal norms to be somewhat intriguing. There is this duality within us that says we want to be authentic, but society seems to so often encourage us to conform. What is life if we simply conform to societal norms? When we consciously view how we fit within our world, we can see what we do have control of and what we don't. Even those things we don't seem to have control of, we do have control in a way. We can choose how much energy we give to it. We can also choose to speak or stay quiet. We can allow something to simply be without questioning it. We can choose to be assertive or aggressive, overly giving, negative, positive or nonchalant. On the other hand, we can choose to set boundaries or adjust or choose to walk away. Do we perhaps have more freedom and agency than we realise? We can argue that we need a particular job, or that we constantly adjust to someone's expectations of us because we love them, aka people-pleasing or enabling. These things may be very true, but at the same time it might be within our power to make focused changes to our circumstances. If we are living consciously, could we perhaps make some very conscious adjustments to our life today, in exchange for some short-term discomfort? I see so many people going, "Oh, that's too hard," and then go back to whinging and complaining about their situation and gossiping about others. I choose not to be that person, and I truly appreciate those who do the same. We carry this power within our own being to create our own stability, happiness, success, abundance and fulfillment in the longer term. What this looks like for me is likely very different to what this looks like for you. We can either keep ourselves hidden in our little world and stay small and stuck for fear of what might happen if we are to expand out. Alternatively, we can make small changes every single day with a view that we might expand, grow and reach new heights well into the future. If we push through and stick with something in the longer term, then these small adjustments we choose to make each and every day of our life will have a much bigger impact than we can even imagine in years to come.